Okay, so I'm just going to do a little tutorial on how to watermark PDFs with FileMaker and some magic. So let's say, for example, we've got these PDF files, like this one maybe, okay, and we want to add a watermark. So a watermark like this, for example, this CS01 here on the top. Um, and we want to be able to do that in FileMaker. So we want to upload this PDF, and then we want to have it process and do the attachment. So this is kind of a pain in the ass. Um, and it's taken, a little bit of time to get all the pieces together, but I finally put them together. So I'd like to walk through the steps. So basically, this is the beginning here. So I'll just clear it out. So this is that CS. That's the file. So I'll just demonstrate that it works first. So let's have a look. So we just export this picture, save it to the desktop, and we have a look, and there you go. It's not marked. Okay, so in the end, what the client wants is to build something like this. And you can see they've hand marked all this, and we're going to be, automating this process so they don't have to build this stuff by hand. So I'm just going to run it. I'll just run it so you can see that it works. So I built a little a log file so that we can see what the server's doing. Just because I was like troubleshooting this like crazy and it was really hard to get everything right. So let's just go ahead and go to our script. And so I'm going to build it on the server. So we just run it. Click build, and then we go back to the log and we'll watch it add records. So it tells us what code it's working on. It tells us what file it got exported to. It confirms that the file exists. It runs this command, and then it gives us the result. It confirms that the file exists, like after it's been done, and then it inserts it. And then there's the code. So this is the code that we can use to find the record for the client. So it's a different code. So this is the one that it processed. So let's export both of them. And then the watermark is this CS02 here. So we export this. And there it is, got marked. Okay. So what, what technology are we using to accomplish this? So the main deal on the server is we're using the BaseElements plugin. So where's that? There we go. So BaseElements plugin is installed. So that we use that. The other thing that we need is this ImageMagick. So this is actually the command. So if you see here, this command that's being run, that I use Scoop to install it. Basically, this command is being used, but this command has a dependency. So most of my troubleshooting, I had two things to troubleshoot. One was getting the BaseElements plugin to write the file. For some reason, I couldn't pass it a file path. So this whole thing was failing because it wouldn't write out the file that I wanted. But BaseElements lets you just export a file. Here, if you just export the file, it puts the file path to the result. So I just couldn't get it to use my file path. So I just gave up and just used the file that it gives me, and it works. So the other thing that was failing was this command would run locally, but it would fail on the server I couldn't figure out what it was. I thought it was like all these different, um, all these different potential issues. So, I thought it might be, you know, some of these commands or the file or the path, the file, but no. The issue was I had to install Ghostscript separately. So the dependencies are this BaseElements and then uh, BaseElements and then Ghostscript. So we have to install Ghostscript separately for it to run in a BaseElements server-side session, which is different. So the session that this Ghostscript runs in is separate from when I run it as a user. Like when I'd run it from here, it would just work. Right? I'd put the command in and everything would run great. So I'd type in the commands, it'd be perfect, and then I'd try to run it on the server and it would fail. And it was failing because this convert command has that Ghostscript dependency, and the one that I installed using Scoop just didn't register the path variables, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but installing the Ghostscript natively fixed it. So it's like, why didn't I do that in the first place? Yeah, that's a good question. Um, so basically what happens is that it's writing all the files into this temp folder. And you can see they're still here. So that's that CSO2. And because it's the temp folder, I guess Windows just cleans that stuff up by itself. But we're actually, in the script, it is actually supposedly deleting it. So we do have this delete, but maybe I should change that to the, BaseElements delete. Because I switched from using native FileMaker stuff to using BaseElements. So it's probably, yeah, it'll probably just work. So there we go, result, and then we log, and then end code. Well, so I'm probably going to put this here, and this is my logging um, harness. So basically, I've got a verb, and I'll say, so the file was deleted, and then this is the result, and then this gets logged. Okay, and then the code just lets me know that I finished it. So yeah, so in the watermark script, which we've got here, this is so I can run it on a Mac. I just make sure up front that I'm only dealing with valid files. Like, is there is there a record set, and does this record have what it takes? Is it a valid record? Like, is there a PDF file associated with it, right? So obviously, if there's no cut sheet, if this is empty, we don't want to run it. Like, we don't want to try to build a record for it. So clear out some results, set the path, build the command. So I made a easy to modify command. These are the merge variables that I created. So the command, input, output, basically trying to make it cross-platform, but also easy for users to change. And the key is obviously the value that's going to get stamped. So I could have called that watermark, but for whatever reason, in the database, it's the key field. So then I log it. Then here's the key. I did this is where I was trying to save the path. I did the export, so I log that it's been exported. I move it. I guess I should change that because it's like exported. I should say maybe, So probably it's, oh, and then I've got the result there, right? I'm already doing that, so I could probably just go like this, probably better. Okay, so then for some reason, when it exports the field contents, it doesn't give you extension. So we add an extension, move the file to it, check that it exists. I'm not doing any error handling, but I should. Then we just log the command so we can see it. We execute the command. Again, does the file exist now that it's been processed? I could add more logging there. And then we do the import, take the result and save it to the field, and then we clean up. So now let's just run this on the server. So it's not going to use, it's just going to pick a record. So I made it's going to pick, so where there's a cut sheet, where it's not empty, and where the cut sheet watermark PDF is empty is true. So it's going to pick one of these. So it's going to pick one of these because these, when I was troubleshooting, I thought some of the spaces or whatever were causing the problem. So it's probably going to pick, it'll pick like this Richelieu one, for example. So let's just go ahead and run this on the server. And we can watch it build. Yes, it is picking that one. And then we got the command. The command is running. Okay, and then does that mean it deleted it? Probably not, I guess, right? So C57 4BB. Oh, it looks like it did delete it. So 44BB. It's gone. It deleted it. Good job. So we can just clean these up, I guess. Okay. So that's good. Oh, this is the one that did it. So we can look at it. Yeah, so it's stamped. So that's the end of the tutorial or whatever on the logging. Server-side logging, so having this really helped me troubleshoot it. The BaseElements, ImageMagick, and Ghostscript combined lets me generate PDFs. These commands, the ImageMagick commands, you can like look up, but yeah, they just have to do with how the final quality looks. And anyway, it's pretty straightforward. You can look at that. Look that up. So that's the end of the tutorial.